Hello, friends. This is Zelda, and you are watching episode 13 of Friday Sews. Well, I actually had a very busy week of sewing. I did great. One thing I can't show you anything of the dress I made yet because Lisa and I from One Lisa Show, we're doing a collaboration, and I thought she had already started on her dress because she sent me something. I read it wrong, and I said, "Oh, I better get going." And I finished it, but it turned out beautiful. I'm wearing it now because it is the perfect dress to wear right now. But you will see it within the next couple of weeks. I want to start off with the question of the week because I tend to forget. And this is where I get to put my glasses on and read. All right. Question for August 18th, 2023. It says many county fairs happen this month in the U.S. Do you make anything to exhibit? Did you do this when you were younger? I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and we didn't have anything 4-H wise. The animals that would come out, we didn't want them to come out, and so it's different. I never participated in that. And then when we were homeschooling, we never got into 4-H. We did live on a little farm. We had just chickens and ducks and fish because we had a pond and dogs. And then there were cats around. But other than that, no animal to raise or anything like that. And I never actually did make anything and thinking to sell it for it at an exhibit. Never did that. So maybe next year I might. I've heard about Dress a Girl. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that yet, but I'm going to definitely think about doing that next year because I'm just trying to figure out my own self right now. So, but I think it's a great way to help children who they don't have dresses for themselves. So it's great. Okay. First thing I did, I would like to show you. Oh, I'll start off with this. I made continuous bias strips, and this is all of that. I cannot believe I made so much of this, and I have this right here that I made. This was the 1-inch, and oh, hold on. Okay, I use these, the bias tape maker, and you use your own, put a point, cut it at a 45-degree angle, your strip, so that you have a piece ending up looking like that. Okay, so what I did, I cut it in a 45-degree angle, and I pushed this in, and actually, normally you use your awl to bring it through, and it came on through. But when you pull it through, it creates your binding, and all you do is press that. You press that as you go, and it makes beautiful binding. I love that. So I have the 25 millimeter, 18 millimeter, a 9 millimeter, a 9 millimeter, a 6 millimeter, the 3mm. So I have those. That was great. So I made, like I said, a bunch of binding. I was playing around. I did a video. I don't know if I'm going to post it, with me attempting to make this continuous bias binding. And obviously I did it, but it was challenging. I was directionally challenged trying to figure out which way I was supposed to go with this. So anyway, I made this bias binding to put on my granddaughter's baby blanket that I made, and here it is. Let me stand up so you can see it. Nice and big. I love it. I used chalk to make the crossing in the back. I did it. I don't know if you can see that. Like diamonds. And I followed a lady online, and I will put her picture up here because I don't remember her name, but she suggested putting the binding on the back first and then bring it around and stitch on the front. I think I like it the other way. I like it this way, but just these little pieces that I don't catch all the way, or it feels like it's too far away from the edge. I feel like I want to go back and zigzag it, but I know that's not what you typically do for a blanket, but it's just for her to throw up on, play on, crawl on. And when she has diaper explosions, it can go on that, and that can go in the wash. That's what I wanted. Okay, so that is what I have sewn this week. And you know that I have a new brother sewing machine. My brother's in the closet right now. My baby lock is what I used, and I used, move over. I used 3 feet from the packet. Let me close. Actually, no, they won't fall out. Get a set of 12, a 12-foot kit. And I used 3 of them. I used the gathering foot. I'll put it over here too. And this one, you unscrew the shank, I guess, on the sewing machine, and then you take that piece off, and then you push this up and screw it on, and you use this to gather. It does a great job. It looks like there's a space in there, but I did not put any fabric through there. It goes underneath. At least I think it does, because that's where I put it, and it worked. It worked beautifully, beautifully, beautifully. Okay, the next foot I used was the edge. Well, not the next foot I used. Yes, it is the 1/4 inch foot guide. I have my reminders over here on the side, and this is the seam guide on there, and then you stitch right up in there. This was very helpful putting on the binding on the back side. I think I would like to try doing another blanket and do the binding the other way and see which one I like better. It's been a long time since I've done anything quilting wise, so it's okay. I'm happy. And to bring this around and kind of stitch in the ditch somewhat, I used an edge joining foot. So this one, the edge joining foot, I'm not sure if it's like the blind hem stitch on blind hem her foot. It says, oh, that's the shearing. Edge joining foot for even sided stitching when joining two pieces of fabric, lace, or trim. Try this edge joining foot. It's also great for narrow edge stitching and stitching seams directly into the ditch. And I wanted to stitch in the ditch. And I did that. Okay. Another thing that's new for me, just some things that I used this week, is this cutting mat. I got this. It's I got a self-healing cutting mat. I got it from Uline, Uline, and this is a 24 by 36 mat, and it was like about $32. It was pretty cheap, and it covers, when I turn it this way, it covers the whole length, and I can lay my fabric out, and I can cut without having to shift the mat underneath it. So I love this thing. I'm not sure if you can see my little wool pressing mat back there and my little iron. I used that when I was making the binding strips, and that came in handy, so I didn't have to literally turn around and go over here to the ironing board. I could just cut the strips and then iron them. Okay, let's see what else. I think, oh, plans for this week, or next week, I should say. I have the cording for Tony's pajama pants, so I'm going to cut that out this week, and my plan is to sew it and get it all done. I also want to make a scrap bag to put my scraps in. I don't know how to make that yet. I have to just get a bag, I guess, pattern, but I want it more like just square, so I'm about that tall, that wide. Just to put some of my scraps that I have. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this, but since I'm going to make another blanket, maybe I'll make another one that's similar to the fabric there, but use this binding so that I don't have to make any more. It was actually very fun making the continuous binding once I got the hang of it, but getting the hang of it was a challenge because you have to you draw the lines and you make a tube. The tube part I had trouble with. I might put that video up. We'll see. All right, let me see. Talk about that. I still want to make a tissue box, the one that I saw Carol make from Sew Carol. Hi, Carol. And I think that's just perfect for the cars, the trucks, and gifts. I think it's great. I just need to get it and make it. So I thought that would be great. And I want to work on my next lesson in the Mimi G course I'm taking. I only did the one with the eyeglass cases. I need to do the next one. And I think the next one is a bag. I'm not sure what kind of a bag, but it is a bag. So thank you. Oh. A couple other things that I bought. I bought another pair of little scissors. Snip my little snips in little intricate spots, but I bought these. My other pair are dull. They're very dull. I don't know. I think my son might have used my scissors to cut something because they're all of a sudden they got dull and his mustache is shaped up. Something's not right in Denmark. No offense to anyone in Denmark. Okay. I bought this, a crease maker. And the reason why, I had one of these years ago and I saw someone using it to make lines on their quilt instead of drawing with markers or pencil or chalk or whatever. I used chalk on the baby blanket and it took forever to get out. And I remember using this. I would just do a couple of rows and then I would stitch, a couple of rows and stitch. It worked out for me. So I bought another one. I'm going to make some pot holders, and that will be small and intricate and just enough to see your lines and stitch on them. I also, because I love the bias tape maker so much, I bought the extra large bias tape maker. Dun, dun, dun. And this one you cut, this is up to 3.5 inches of fabric to put through here, and you end up with a 2-inch bias tape, single fold, or 1-inch double fold. So I thought this was nice. I'm curious. This is too small. Actually, I don't think this will work at all because it's not narrow. It's not wide enough to go through. Yeah, need it wider. But it was just a few dollars, so I ended up buying it. And it's from Madame Sew. So there we go, Madame Sew. Woo-hoo. The other bias tape makers are not Madame Sew. I think I picked them up off of Temu. And they work just fine. Maybe Temu, it's either Temu or Amazon. I just want to say possibly that it was possibly Temu. I don't know. Putting my feet back so that I don't lose them. This was a great investment. I'm very happy I got it. Okay, that is it. I hope you are having a great sewing week. And if you have stuck around this long, I should have said it in the beginning, I'd love for you to hit that like button. And if you liked anything that I talked about, please hit the subscribe button so that we can communicate with each other. One more thing. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here. I'm going to pause, so hold on. Okay. The scripture of the day for this week comes from Proverbs 15, verse 1. This has helped me tremendously. I wear head coverings as a reminder for reverence in my home. But this right here, the Word of God, is powerful, quick and powerful, sharper than any, two-edged sword. I don't want to mess it up. Anyway, Proverbs 15, chapter 1, a soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Think about what you say this week or this coming week, and just remember, a soft answer turns away wrath. It really does. Sometimes after things come out of your mouth, hurtful words, you can't take it back. Think before you speak, be a blessing to others, and have a great week. I will see you in the comments, and you will see me on my next upload. So thank you so much. God bless you. See you soon. Bye.